Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, world. How you doing today? You're on the tripod. Got a mic on my shirt. Got the CPL UV lens and the ND2 lens on the camera on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I have been experiencing degraded footage when I go live. So I've spent the last week or so trying to figure that out. Also, I wanted to speak to you about some other things. Give me a second. First and foremost, Trump signed in the bill, the new agricultural bill, that all THC plants are now legal. There's just no clarification as to if we're allowed to grow it or how much we're allowed to grow. So I'm just going to keep buying it at the store and smoking it on my Saturday. So if this channel is not for you, please click off. I don't mind. But today is Squirrel's Garden after hours. It's still after hours because the sun ain't up yet. So as we continue. Now, for further clarification, if you are not 21 years old, you cannot participate in a smoke break. So fuck off. Now, what I want to talk to you about is the fact that this whole place right here, this whole garden, this isn't the whole thing. What I mean by that is that the home behind the camera is also included as to what this garden is. And as a home in a whole, it includes your family members. And I said in the video the other day, family comes first. So I've had to back off on my daily videos. Although I have been out here twice a day. First thing in the morning and about sunset, and periodically throughout the day I'll come out here and check. There's not a whole lot more to share as far as the garden goes. I covered all the basics. Right now we're in grow mode. Now, the home is what you start with. You don't just move into a place and there's a fucking garden here and I gotta start taking care of it. No, it don't fucking work that way. Sometimes you think your home is squared away. And then suddenly, one day you realize something is askew. And you thought things were okay. And you thought the people in your life were okay. But secretly, deep down inside, they're not okay. And sometimes they don't even realize it. Sometimes, when you lay your elders to rest, let me back away from the AC so you can hear me. The camera is sitting right in front of the AC so I can get a good view of the garden. So, sometimes your family members don't realize they're not okay. Sometimes they don't even realize that they're not acting as mature as they should be. Okay? Sometimes, when you lay your elders to rest, your parents instantaneously become your elder because they lose it. They can't handle the stress that mom and dad just passed within a year and a half of each other. But granted, they were in their 80s. They were pretty fucking old. They grew up from the 40s on. They were born right after or during World War II. They are World War II booner babies. Born during or just after. And they were together for 64 years. That's a long time, y'all. My grandparents were married and together, raised their daughter and their son. They both had their own families, and I am the descendant of their daughter. I am now here in Wichita Falls, giving up my life as a cowboy to take care of my mama. And yes, the old cowboys still exist. Where the fuck do you think your state comes from? I'm also a farrier. That's where you take care of horseshoes or shoeing livestock, period. Okay? Before I came out here, I was going to attend some training to do some branding. I know some people don't like that idea of branding your animal, but I was going to be learning the freeze method. It's safer and more humane. But I digress. I gave up that life because family comes first. Matter of fact, I also had that life hidden from my family because I knew they would look down upon me for that type of work. Shadow, get down. 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 Good girl. You're okay. Good girl, Shadow. So, like I was saying, sometimes your elders lay to rest and your parents become your elder. And sometimes you become the mature one. And that sucks. And sometimes your family member may make choices that they don't understand could put the whole household in jeopardy. So, I've taken it upon myself to take this past week to really think about what I want to do with my life, with my home, with mama, with my garden, with my YouTube channel. Okay? I am going to try my best to post every single day, while at the same time, for the record on my channel, I come out here at least twice a day. First in the morning and then at sunset. You gotta take care of your babies. This year's all about roots. I gotta make sure these roots set good. Okay? That's what's gonna help the soil structure for next year. Alright? And next year I've got to get the irrigation done. Irrigation is important. ladies and gentlemen, this is the last Better Boy of spring season tomatoes. The above the scrog, all this above the scrog, as tall as me, okay? All this is summer crop. Just a little tidbit, okay? So, as I was saying, I gotta watch what my responsibilities are and keep an eye on my family better and do my best to be a better people person because I suck at that. I really suck at that. Y'all have no idea. That's why I went out into the country to begin with. Because I just couldn't deal with the stupidity of normal people. The way they think, what they think is okay. When you meet a person, you think that person's going to be your best friend. And they do something. And they think it's cool. And you're disgusted and horrified. Yeah. You tend to keep seeing that kind of repeated shit often. So I walked away from society. Sometimes I wonder, could I have tried better to stay in town somewhere, to be a city folk person? Could I have tried that? I don't know. I have no idea if I could be able to handle it back then. But the simple fact that I had a few years out in the country to clear my mind, I feel better about being in a town. But I still don't like being around this close to people. We got a fence line all the way around the yard. I ain't used to that. When I adopted Shadow, she was running with the other border collies. She's the only one that looked black, but she got the exact same shape, just short hair. She got used to checking the fence with me. No leash, just freely walking next to me. She lost that sense about her, and I have to retrain that. So we walk around the yard, and I said, check the fence. And now Shine, she's getting it. Adapt and overcome, that's what I'm describing. Sometimes you just gotta adapt and overcome. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you don't want to do it. Sometimes you get forced into it. I apologize for the noise. I walked into the garage to get my coffee. Gotta keep those fans going, otherwise the garage gets very hot as soon as the sun comes up. You need to insulate it. What is that on your... How do you have styrofoam on your head? Where do you get that from? Silly girl. I'm recording a video, baby. I'll give you itches later. So, yeah. I'll be making shorts. I'll be doing some more walkthroughs. My damn chainsaw ain't done yet. It's pissing me off. I just had to take my weed eater back into the same shop because the head stopped spinning. Both of those machines are brand new this season, and I've only used the weed eater 3 times. I don't know if I want to buy from there again. Just get the damn thing fixed and just find another Stihl repair shop and see if they can do a better job. But yeah, I got some work to do. I'll be putting you on a tripod. We'll be going in the back behind the garden today, actually. I've got a 12-inch Sawzall blade that's a finish cut, or not a finish cut, but it's a rough cut. But you can do. Here, hold on. Let me go get the son of a bitch. Stand by. Okay. Okay, so basically these are the same exact thing, okay? But one's the bigger size and HP, okay? There's a 12-inch saw blade on there. They take the same battery. This one came in the bag set. It's the smaller, obviously. I got this entire set for about just under $200 on sale because the new models had just came out and it was around the holidays. I can't remember what month it was. I knew it was before Christmas because the new set came out. I didn't buy the set. I inherited this one from Grandpa. He wanted a new Sawzall. I took him to the store and I said this one. And this is a son of a bitch, man. Like, you think Ryobi's nothing? The Ryobi HP does everything in this yard for me. It's beautiful. I recorded a video where I talked about my chainsaw and I pulled this out. Okay, I'm gonna be using this to cut those logs. So this one was approximately $150 by itself. All right, pull the flap up, pull it up, pull the blade out. Okay, again, because I'm gonna get started on all that back there, I gotta use a new one. I use that one on all the brush around the fence. So when you're doing this, making sure you pull your flap all the way up. That's unlocking, okay? And now it's locked back in, okay? These do have a lock and unlock on there, so you don't just accidentally press the button and like cut your leg or some stupid shit. But other than that, it's too early to be playing. So I'll take you along on that little adventure today. I'm gonna practice doing the time-lapse doohickey thing, so that way it looks like I am a squirrel moving like a million miles an hour. And yeah, it's gonna take me a while to cut through that shit with a Sawzall, but I'm sure I can do it. It's a 12-inch blade, probably get about 10 inches worth of cutting surface, and that's fine. It's just because of the angle and they're curved and that shit. That's what I'm guesstimating, about 10 inches of surface cutting. So yeah, and I've got other blades that are multi a wood and nail, so you can cut through like 2x4s with nails and screws in them and shit. I'll be using that on the pallet so I can just take them all apart without tearing them up. So you take your blade along the seam and cut straight through that nail. Buzz, and it's cleanly taken apart. So that way I can just make some small pilot holes before I put the screws in, and then use those boards as the frame, and then basically lining up the slices of logs like a picket fence and just strapping it to it. Now line the inside with the garden fabric. That's it. Fill it with dirt. I've got that small pile, another bigger pile in front of the truck, and I got all this brush I just lopped down. The easement, it's weird easement. It's fucking capped off from the neighbor's fence line, and this neighbor's fence line just behind my fence wall right there. Okay, it's all capped off, so I'm gonna lop off everything back there, and I'm gonna talk to Mama and see if the city can come out and give us the rights to that, because there's a fence line behind that too, and it's just an odd rectangle fenced off. The power pole's in the neighbor's yard, so there's no reason to fucking have that back there. But anyway, I've got all that dunnage back there I can take. There's brush in the front yard around the perimeter of the house that I'm basically using as a sun shield. It looks tacky as fuck. It could be trimmed up, but it's actually wild trees trying to grow up. So I'm gonna have to lop those down, and later I'll be digging that shit up. So I've got plenty of material and base soil compost, whatever the hell they dropped off that shit is, and then all the soil compost like the mushroom, cow. I've got peat humus. I've got topsoil. I've got all this, the whole shebang that I normally show. My whole recipe for soil, including the chips and chunks of bark. So we'll be doing a hugelkultur mound inside that bed, and from there I'll make my soil mix and put that on top, and any grass, leaves, mulch, maybe the neighbors, I can get their greens bin before they put it out to the street. That's something I ain't never been. I've had to get used to that shit. People have a trash can. I can't even get to mine because I got the sunflower jungle back behind the camera here. In the city, we have a trash can that's green, and you put your grass clippings and your leaves in it. I was like, compost that shit, y'all, in your backyard. You'll be fine. You can make fucking flower beds and shit. I'm like, damn. I know that sounds really fucking ridiculous, but I guess I spent too much time out in the country, and and give me some slack here. Before I went out in the country and stayed out there was no such thing as a greens bin. You either put your trash cans that you bought at Home Depot out of the street, or the city gave you one, and the city came and picked up and dumped their own trash can and left it there for you to take it back to your house. Okay, just like they do now. Take your city trash can out to the street, they dump it, you bring it back to the house. Okay, I'm used to that. I was floored when I heard about the fucking greensman. I felt like a real fucking country retard. Anyway, I don't use that son of a bitch. So maybe I can get my neighbors to let me have theirs, depending on what kind of stuff it is. Y'all can see my little um, tumbleweed. And it's perfectly safe there. I've been leaving it there intentionally. And ain't not one person throughout the entire season yet has said anything about that. And I still ain't going to explain it yet until somebody asks. And you see, my plants ain't diseased. I only moved it closer this way because the plants were climbing over it. They were climbing over some bitch. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it yet. Just look at it. If you can see it in the view. YouTube, you can pinch zoom on the video, and you can zoom in on it. Matter of fact, let me go look. Let me see if it's in view. Nope. Okay. I'm not going to explain that in the compost pile. I want one of those expert YouTuber video garden channels to explain to y'all why I can leave that there with no problem. Lock it right there. Oh, crap. Mama's dog's up. Okay, I'm gonna lock it right there. We're at 27 minutes. All right. So, as you can see, the garden is doing great. It is doing great. I have spotted some more watermelon start watermelon fruit sets, but I still can't find any good pumpkin ones. Although I can show you these. I've got two right here. Okay. Yeah, I'll do a separate video on that. But they're right next to each other, and they look kind of odd shaped. They look more like a pumpkin shape than they're supposed to. Anyway, those are the only two pumpkin sets that I know of so far on there, but they look ridiculous. I don't know. We will see what they develop into. They look more like the shape of hourglass or butternut squash. That's what they look like. And this puny thing right here, this watermelon, probably ain't gonna do shit for me. But it's all good. It's all good. Some of my flowers on my tomatoes are already set. Sunflowers are leaning over, probably heavily pollinated. And the persimmons are doing pretty good. Yeah, they ain't burning too bad. This persimmon down here at the bottom, it's getting nice and heavy. It's pulling on the branch, so it's getting there. Sunflower looks like she just keeled over. Hopefully she gets some seeds developed. I don't want her to die too early. Sunflower jungle. So we got lucky. The lady before me, she was a gardener. That's how I ended up with 2 IBC cage totes, a sunflower jungle, and just the way the place looked, you could tell there was pots all over the place. There's rounded dead marks in the grass everywhere still. Yeah, and there ain't much else to talk about the garden today. Everything's just in grow mode. It's actually been fairly mild. It's been close to 100 degrees, but it hasn't been feeling as intense. There has been some overcast some days, and then some partial clouds some days. Right now we're sitting at just over 70, and guesstimating about 72, 74. And we're pinned out on 100% humidity. So it feels kind of cool. Hey, baby. I love you. So, anyway, you want scratches? No, you don't get my coffee, you sneaky. You did that on purpose. Anyway, folks, y'all have a beautiful day. I want to go play with the puppies. It's Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. Just want to touch base with my channel, my journey, my recording for my whole journal. That's what I'm trying to say. Get back out there. Stay consistent. And be truthful with yourself. Shine bright, folks. Thanks for coming by.